I'm joined on the show today by Choi, the president of Netcom Africa. Thank you for joining me on the show today.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, straight to our questions. Now, how has artificial intelligence evolved over the past decade, and what are some of the most significant breakthroughs?
I would say the biggest breakthrough is large language models like the
Mm,
ChatGPT.
mm,
And it's only in the last 2 years that it's become a widespread word, and the
mm,
capabilities are just amazing. I mean, if you look at it, artificial intelligence has been here for 20, 30 years, but it was so complicated that it wasn't really accessible by anybody. But now all you
mm,
have to do is go to the website and use it, and you can do it in 5 minutes.
mm.
Uh,
Okay, now,
and I think one of the other breakthroughs is like, I think people use ChatGPT. And a
mm,
few years ago, when ChatGPT raised billions of dollars of money, the
yeah.
investor said, "Look, we invested this money. What are you going to do with it? How are we going to make money on this?" And he
Yeah.
said, "I don't know. I don't know how we're going to make money on it. But once we build this really powerful AI, we will ask the
Mm.
AI how we will make money." And that's something that's never been done before.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, in what ways is AI currently impacting everyday life? Let's say from personal assistance to healthcare. In what ways?
I think the first thing is nowadays we don't Google anything anymore. We used to, if you didn't know
Mm.
something, you would Google it. Now you
Yeah.
say, let's ChatGPT it. And the way we
Yes,
think
the
is
language has changed.
yeah, yeah. And the way we digest and learn information has become different. Like before, when we Google, we put in some words, we'd end up with
Mm.
20 or 30 links, and then we have to filter that out and figure out which one is relevant. But now we can ask, ChatGPT very real questions like, "Hey, I have to write this report. I need a table of contents. Give me some suggestions on what my thesis should be based on the type of professor I have." Right?
Mm.
And you can't search for that. So this is where the extra level of knowledge comes in.
Yeah, but what do you think are some of those surprising ways AI is being used today? What are those some of those surprising ways that it's being used?
Well, a lot of times, I mean, from the very basic part, it's like when you're shopping online, you see something
Mm.
that you like, and then you
Mm.
see some suggestions, and you're like, "Oh, I like that. I want to buy it." Right? So
Yeah.
these businesses are using AI to understand your personality based on what you're searching for, based on what you're looking, what you're buying, and come up with items that you're very likely to buy. So that happens in the background, and that's been happening for a long time. But on a
Mm.
practical sense, AI is being used for in agriculture, like
Mm.
using AI to predict weather patterns and crop diseases, helping farmers save money, make less mistakes. That's where it's being used at in all sectors, any type of business. I receive over 1,000 emails a day,
Mm.
and it's very difficult for me to kind of reply to the ones that are very important. So what do? I use AI to read every single email that is sent to me.
Mm.
And if somebody sends me an email with which I call a negative sentiment, they're not happy. Like, "Hey,
Mm.
Yen, you're owing me money," or "Hey, Yen,
Yeah.
I'm not happy with your service," right? It will summarize that email and send me an instant message so I can get that right away.
Yeah. Mm. Now let's look at this in terms of employment. How do you see AI changing the future of employment? Because it's
Oh,
very
that's a
important,
good one.
particularly for a country like Nigeria now.
Yes. People that know AI are
Mm.
scared of AI.
Yeah.
They say AI is going to take everyone's jobs away. It's true, kind of. Uh, AI will not take your job away, but somebody using AI will. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you don't know how to use AI, you better
Mm.
start learning it. Otherwise, you become obsolete.
Now, on this particular question, because some people may not understand what you mean by someone using AI will, if you could just elaborate a bit further for us so that people, those who are listening and watching us right now, we are live on Facebook today, 95.1 FM on Facebook. You could watch us live, drop your questions or send us an SMS or text on 0701 9339 962, and Ian will take your questions and see if he can give you an answer to it. So for those listening to us, Ian, how do you think, or what do you think, for those of them who don't understand, when you say someone using AI could take their jobs? So if you could break down a bit for our listeners and those who are watching us now.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
uh, music, music videos,
Yeah.
right? You've got a great music video, you've come up with some great lyrics and great music, great beats, and now you need a music video. So what do? You hire a director, a director of photography, camera people, sound people. You rent sets, you rent makeup, you rent models, you rent sexy cars, and then you end up spending millions and millions and millions of naira. And by the time you see the video after it's done, because it goes
Yeah.
through pre-production, post-production, editing, and all that stuff, it's going to take like 3 to 6 months. And you would have spent a lot of money as an artist.
Yeah.
Well, what if I can tell you that that whole thing can be built in 2 days with just two people? Okay? Two people that are using AI. Is
Yeah.
that a threat to the traditional video production company? Oh, yeah, it is. So those guys who had the cameras and everything are now losing their jobs to people who use AI to do video generation and AI editing and AI and even effects that you can't even do with cameras. 3D modeling, visual effects, spaceships crashing and cars exploding. And that's how those businesses will need to change.
Now, let's look at the ethical concerns. Now, what ethical concerns are raised by the increasing use of AI? Let's say,
Well,
particularly around the privacy and decision-making area.
I mean, let's look at social media. When Facebook came out, Instagram came out, everybody's using it. Everyone's putting their photos. It offers a tremendous amount of social benefit. But what happened in the background is they started to learn about people, learn about your behavior, what type of person you are, so they can push adverts to you, make you buy stuff, right? So with these cloud-based public LLMs or AIs, they're very similar. I use ChatGPT all the time. And I said, I actually use one called Perplexity, which is quite similar. And I asked it, I said, hey, tell me about myself, the type of person I am, and come up with a development plan that I could incorporate into my life to fix some of the issues I have that last 6 months. And what I read about this, even my wife doesn't know that much about me. And it's not from public information, it's from the questions I asked. So even in friendship with your friends, the more you converse and ask questions to each other, or they ask you questions, you begin to know their character. So there's an immense amount of knowledge that's being created about individuals that needs extra care to be taken care of.
All right. Now, how can we ensure that AI developments remain beneficial and safe for society?
Well, who has this information? Like if it's for Nigeria,
Yeah.
do you want those servers to be located in America, right? Do you want
Obviously
those
not. We
servers
want
to
them
be,
here in Nigeria.
you want them to be in China? Like you don't want them in any government,
Yeah.
right? So we need as a country to build those servers that do the AI within the country, preserve the data in the country, and making sure that it's governed by the rules and governance created within Nigeria. That is the key. If you use Facebook or Instagram, you're taking all your data. The Nigerian government does not have access to it, and that could be a problem.
Yeah.